Have you ever looked at someone driving a Lamborghini, living in a penthouse, and thought, they must be the happiest person on earth? But what if I told you that science and decades of research proves that more money does not equal more happiness? In fact, the wealthier you get, the more miserable you might become. Today, I am breaking down a brand new book that is shaking the entire finance world, The Value of Well-Being by Meir Statman. This is not your typical money book. This is a book that answers the question nobody dares to ask: why am I rich but still unhappy? And trust me, by the end of this video, you will never look at wealth the same way again. If you are someone who chases money thinking it will fix everything, then you need to watch this till the end, because what I'm about to share might save you from a lifetime of regret. So grab a notebook, because these lessons are going to change your perspective. Let us dive into the first and most shocking lesson.
Lesson 1. The 3 types of well-being. Meir Statman starts with a bombshell that most people never consider. Well-being is not just one thing. It is actually 3 separate, distinct types. And if you do not understand all 3, you are building your life on a broken foundation. The first type is hedonic well-being, which is basically pleasure and happiness. This is the joy you feel when you eat your favorite food, go on vacation, or buy something expensive. It feels amazing. But here's the problem. It is temporary. It fades. And the more you chase it, the faster it disappears. This is why that new iPhone feels incredible for 3 days, and then it's just another phone. The second type is eudaimonic well-being, which is deeper. This is about meaning, purpose, and living according to your values. It's the satisfaction of raising good children, building something meaningful, or helping others. This does not feel like a dopamine rush. It feels like fulfillment, and it lasts. The third type is social well-being, which is your connection to others, your relationships, your community, your sense of belonging. Statman proves that people with strong social well-being are happier than billionaires who are lonely. And here's the shocking part. Most people spend their entire life chasing hedonic well-being, money, cars, luxury, while completely ignoring the other 2. They become rich in pleasure, but bankrupt in purpose and connection. And that's why they feel empty. That's why they sit in their luxury cars, wondering, is this all there is? Statman calls this the well-being trap, and it's destroying millions of lives right now. The question is, are you in this trap?
Lesson 2. The money happiness paradox. Now, let us talk about the relationship between money and happiness, because this is where Statman completely destroys what we have been taught. We've all heard the research. Money buys happiness up to $75,000 a year. After that, it plateaus. But Statman says that is only half the truth. Yes, money helps you escape poverty, stress, and insecurity. But beyond a certain point, it starts working against your happiness. Why? Because of something called aspiration inflation. Here's how it works. When you earn $50,000, you dream of $100,000. When you hit $100,000, you're now comparing yourself to millionaires. And when you become a millionaire, you're comparing yourself to billionaires. Your aspirations grow faster than your income. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. You're working harder, earning more, but never feeling there. Statman calls this the hedonic treadmill. And the scariest part is that most people don't even realize they're on it. They think just one more promotion, just one more deal, just one more million, and then I'll be happy. But that then never comes. It's always moving away. The research is clear. People who earn $500,000 a year are not significantly happier than people who earn $100,000 a year, if the 100,000 person has strong relationships and purpose. Money has what economists call diminishing marginal utility. The first $10,000 changes your life. The next $10,000 changes it a little less. The 1 millionth dollar, it barely moves the needle. And yet we sacrifice our health, our relationships, and our peace of mind to chase it. Statman asks a brutal question. If money is not making you happier, then why are you still chasing it? And for most people, the answer is terrifying. They don't know what else to chase. Lesson 3. Financial behavior versus financial knowledge. This is where the book gets really interesting. Statman is not just a philosopher, he is a behavioral finance expert. And he proves that your financial decisions are not driven by knowledge, they're driven by emotion. You can have a PhD in finance and still make terrible decisions because of fear, greed, envy, and social pressure. Let me give you an example. Have you ever bought a stock because everyone was talking about it, or sold an investment in panic when the market dropped? That was not a logical decision. That was your amygdala, your brain's fear center taking over. Statman explains that humans are not rational calculators. We are emotional maximizers. We do not just want to maximize wealth, we want to maximize pride, status, security, and social acceptance. And this is why we make terrible financial choices. We buy expensive cars we cannot afford to impress people we do not like. We take on massive debt to maintain a lifestyle that is draining our soul. We invest in risky schemes because we are afraid of missing out. Statman introduces the concept of emotional portfolio theory. Just like you have a financial portfolio of stocks and bonds, you also have an emotional portfolio. It includes your need for pride, your fear of regret, your desire for social status, and your need for security. And here's the key insight. A good financial decision is not just one that maximizes returns, it's one that aligns with your emotional portfolio. If you are someone who cannot sleep when the stock market drops 10%, then a high-risk portfolio is bad for you, even if it makes more money on paper, because your well-being matters more than your wealth. This is a radical idea in finance. Most advisors say, maximize returns. Statman says, maximize well-being. And that changes everything. Lesson 4. The social comparison trap. If there is one lesson from this book that will change your life immediately, it is this. Comparison is the thief of well-being, and social media has made it a full-time thief. Statman dives deep into what psychologists call social comparison theory. Humans are wired to compare themselves to others. It is how we evaluate our own success, happiness, and worth. But here is the problem. We do not compare ourselves to everyone. We compare ourselves to the people around us and to the people we see on social media. And social media is a curated highlight reel. You are comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's best moments. You see your friend posting about their new house, their vacation in Bali, their promotion, and you think, I am falling behind. But you are not seeing their debt, their anxiety, their loneliness, their 3 a.m. panic attacks. Statman shares research that shows people who use social media heavily are more likely to be depressed, anxious, and dissatisfied with their lives, regardless of their actual income, because they are constantly measuring themselves against an impossible standard. And this comparison does not just affect your mood, it affects your financial decisions. You buy things you don't need, you take risks you should not take, you sacrifice your well-being to keep up with a fantasy. Statman tells the story of a man who earned $200,000 a year, more than 95% of Americans, but he felt poor. Why? Because all his friends earned $500,000. He was in the top 5% nationally, but the bottom 20% in his social circle, and that made him miserable. This is the relative income hypothesis, and it explains why so many wealthy people feel inadequate. Statman's solution is radical but simple. Stop comparing. Define your own well-being. Create your own metrics of success, because if you let other people define what enough looks like, you will never have enough. Lesson 5. Building a well-being portfolio. So, if money is not the answer, what is the answer? Statman does not just diagnose the problem, he gives you a framework to fix it. And it is called the well-being portfolio. Just like you diversify your financial investments, you need to diversify your well-being investments. Think of it this way. If you put all your money in one stock, you're taking a massive risk. If that stock crashes, you are ruined. Most people do the same thing with their well-being. They put all their emotional investment into their career, or their relationship, or their bank account. And when that one area struggles, their entire life falls apart. Statman says you need 5 core investments in your well-being portfolio. First, physical health. Without this, nothing else matters. Sleep, exercise, nutrition, these are non-negotiable. Second, mental health. Therapy, mindfulness, stress management, not a luxury, a necessity. Third, relationships. Quality time with family, friends, community. This is the #1 predictor of happiness in longitudinal studies. Fourth, purpose and meaning. Work that matters, causes you care about, creativity, contribution. Fifth, financial security. Notice I said security, not maximum wealth. Enough to feel safe, enough to not worry about survival, but not so much that you are sacrificing the other 4. Statman argues that most people have their portfolio completely wrong. They are 80% invested in financial wealth, 10% in career, and 10% in everything else, and then they wonder why they feel empty. The ideal portfolio? Statman suggests something closer to 20% financial, 20% health, 20% relationships, 20% purpose, and 20% mental well-being. And here's the beautiful part. When you balance these, your financial decisions actually improve. You stop making desperate emotional choices. You stop chasing risky returns to fill an emotional void. You make calm, rational, long-term decisions because your well-being does not depend on the next paycheck. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with the ultimate question that Statman asks every reader. What is the value of your well-being? Not in dollars, not in assets, but in the quality of your days, the depth of your relationships, the peace in your mind, and the meaning in your work. We have been taught to measure success in numbers, net worth, follower count, bank balance, but Statman proves that the richest person in the graveyard is still dead, and the person with the most meaningful life, regardless of their income, dies with the most peace. This book is not anti-money. Statman is a finance professor. He believes in wealth, but he believes in wealth that serves well-being, not well-being that serves wealth. So here is my challenge to you. Take one thing from this video and apply it today. Maybe it is calling a friend you have been neglecting. Maybe it is going for a walk instead of checking your portfolio. Maybe it is redefining what enough means for you. Because the truth is, you already have more than enough to be happy. You just haven't given yourself permission to feel it. If this video resonated with you, then you need to read The Value of Well-Being by Meir Statman. It's available now, and I will put a link in the description. Also, if you want me to summarize more books like this, books that challenge everything you believe about success and happiness, then let me know in the comments. Which book should I cover next? Drop your suggestion below. And if you found value in this, hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm on a mission to help you build wealth without losing your soul. Until next time, remember, money is a tool, well-being is the goal. Do not confuse the two. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.